Here we are on day 19 of our spiritual journey. I hope that you're enjoying this as much as I am. One time I had a woman come up to me and she said, Pastor, I don't know why the men in this church, why they can't do what they're supposed to be doing. You know, the men should just step up and they should be doing what they're called to do. Why can't men be real men? And she went on to tell me how the men were supposed to be leaders in the church. The men were supposed to be leaders in the home. The men were supposed to, and she went on and on and on to tell me what the men in the church were supposed to do. Finally, she said, and Pastor, I don't understand why the men in this church don't have better jobs so they can support this church financially. I had listened patiently, or at least had tried to listen patiently. But when she seemed to finish, I began to ask her a few questions. And what are the women supposed to do? That's our principle for today. Women play a significant part in giving to God's work. There's a text there in the book of Luke that sometimes surprises many individuals. Luke chapter 8, verse 3. It's there in your blog, so you can go back and read it. But it says, Joanna, the wife of Chuza, the manager of Herod's household. Now notice, this is the manager of Herod's household, his wife, and Susanna, and many others. These women were helping to support them, and that them is Jesus and his disciples, out of their own means. Who supported Jesus and his disciples? It says the women did. The wife of Herod's manager, Susanna, I guess the people at that time knew who she was. It says, and many others. These women helped Jesus and his disciples. From what funds? From their husbands' funds? No, it says from their own means. The women were supporting God's work. We find that that's not just there in the book of Luke, but that's throughout all of Scripture. Exodus chapter 35 tells us that all who were willing, men and women, came alike and brought gold and jewelry of all kinds of brooches and earrings and rings and ornaments. They all presented their gold as a wave offering to the Lord. Every skilled woman spun with her hands and brought what she had spun, blue, purple, or scarlet yarn, or fine linen, and all the women who were willing and had the skills spun the goat hair. They gave in the book of Exodus. The book of Acts chapter 9, we know about Tabitha. You see, we can read through Scripture, and Scripture tells us women play a significant part in giving to God's work. I don't want to be prejudicial here. I don't want to put gender against gender, men against women. We all have a part to play. Not just the men, but also the women. I like the quote down here at the bottom of our page for today. Did you read what it said? Or have you read it yet? Notice it says, God looks at the heart, not the hand. The giver, not the gift. God's looking at your heart to see how you are faithful in living the generous life.